Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Calm with Carlyn, yoga and meditation for your everyday life. Today we're going to be doing a power core class, but before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and after we're finished, like this video, leave a comment below, let me know what you'd like to see on my channel. So like I said, we're doing a power core class today, but don't be too intimidated by the core word. We're not going to be doing a ton of crunches and things like that. We're going to be doing a really traditional with some sneaky core work in there. So we're really going to be thinking about actively engaging our core and building a strong core without doing hundreds of crunches. So you don't need any props for class, and we're going to get started lying on our backs. So I'll see you there when you're ready. As you lie here on your back, I'd like you to bring your feet out wide just to either edge of the mat, and then just let your knees knock in towards one another, gently tilting the pelvis up, feeling a release in the low back. Maybe placing one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Just taking a couple deep breaths here to get grounded in our practice, to come into this space and be present just in these four corners of the mat. Nowhere else to be right now, nothing else to do. Take one more deep breath here, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then we'll first start firing up through the core by finding our Ujjayi breath. So breathing in through the nose and out through the nose as well. But when we breathe out through the nose, we're finding a slight constriction in the back of the throat. It kind of sounds like an ocean noise or even Darth Vader. Imagine that you're trying to fog up a window. So it sounds like this. And keep that breath going throughout class, finding that fire in your core. If it ever becomes too much, you can always take an exhale out the mouth, let it go. Bring your feet now to hips width distance. Stack your knees right over top of your ankles. And we'll start with a little stretch here. So cross that left foot over the right knee. Press that left knee away from you, getting into the left hip. And then from here, interlace the hands behind the right thigh, flexing through the feet as you pull that right knee in towards the chest. Keep consciously pushing that left knee away from the face. Breathe through this hip opening. We'll just be here for a few rounds of breath. And then we're getting into the core right away. And we're starting pretty strong. So make sure you have your breath with you. Your breath is your number one tool for core work. It's going to help you engage those muscles and stay balanced in this work. So let's get into it. Staying where we are here, keep the legs exactly as they are with that left knee crossed on top, that left foot rather, crossed on top of the right knee. And then take your hands and reach them up to the sky. And then from here, we're going to start to straighten through the leg and tap the heel towards the ground as we take the arms back behind us. And then bring it in through center and find that figure four. So move nice and slow. Try and keep that figure four shape in the legs. If the foot does not reach the ground, keep going as I talk. That is okay. It's more important that your lower back stays grounded down. Let's do this 3 more times. That's 1. Really squeeze through center. Feel that resistance. 2 more. Last one here. Awesome, and then let it go. Take the feet down to the ground, and we'll go to the other side. So this time you'll cross that right foot over top of the left knee, gently press that right knee away from the face, and then hug the left knee in towards the chest, interlacing the hands behind the left thigh. And this time, as you press that left knee in towards the chest, you're gently, consciously pressing that right knee away from the chest, opening through that right hip joint, taking a couple rounds of breath here. Awesome, and then take your hands, reach them up to the sky. And we'll find that same core work, so really hug that belly button in towards the spine. Press that lower back into the ground, and as that left heel goes down towards the ground, the arms come back behind you. And then lift it back up, squeeze it all in, feel that resistance. Move just a little bit slower than you want to. Really feeling that core shake, feeling that fire start. We'll do this 3 more times, including this one. So we've got 2 more. Last one here. Slower than you want to, squeeze it back in. And then this time you'll hug both knees into the chest, give yourself a great big hug. Maybe find a quick happy baby here. Just rocking side to side, hugging the knees in towards the armpits. And then when you're ready, take the hands behind the thighs and rock and roll yourself up to a tabletop position. And from this tabletop position, I want you to feel your core right away. So finding that stability, toes are tucked, knees and the palms of the hands pressed down into the ground. Really press through those fingertips, almost like you're cupping the mat. And then from here, imagine that you're in a really strong plank. Pull your belly button in, feel that core fire up. Tuck the pelvis down. Stay here, really press the ground away from you. Imagine that this is a lot harder than it actually is. And then when you're ready, lift the knees up just an inch. And finding that engagement in our tabletop position is going to make this a lot easier of a transition in this tabletop plank. Squeeze your knees towards your wrists and squeeze your wrists towards your knees. Again, feeling that. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, lift the hips, find your downward facing dog. Maybe you walk the hands slightly forward in front of you. And find whatever movement you need here, depending on the day you're finding your practice right now. You might be feeling a little tight in the back of the legs. Maybe you pulse the heels down towards the ground. Maybe you bend one knee at a time. I'm just feeling some tiny pulses right now, keeping a micro bend in my knee, not locking it out. And then we're going to find a little bit of movement here. So take your feet out wide again to either edge of the mat. And we're going to find some plank to toe tap downward facing dogs here. So let me show you what that looks like. You're going to come forward into a high plank with the feet wide. And then as you lift the hips, find your downward facing dog. Bring your left hand towards your right ankle. And then come back to your plank and take your right hand towards your left ankle. Alternating sides each time. And as you move, pay attention to the breath, pay attention to the core, and feel that nice opening in the back of the legs as well. Try not to take the hips from side to side, but keep them as stable as you can. And from here, we'll do one more each side. Beautiful. And then take it back to your downward facing dog. And from your downward facing dog, lift your right leg up to the sky and step the right foot in between the hands. Find a little twist here. Beautiful. Find some rocks back and forth. Open through the shoulder. And then firm up through this twist. Reach the right fingertips up to the sky. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Pull the right hip back. And we're going to use our core. So start by just coming up onto the left fingertips. Pull the belly button in towards the spine. Fire up your core. And then from here, see if you can just hover those left fingertips off of the ground. You'll notice that you're firing up through your right glute, but I want you to see how you can use your core to take the heat out of the glute. Use your core. Stay here for 3, for 2, on 1, come all the way up to a twisted lunge, right hand back, left hand forward. And then we'll reverse it, take the right hand down the back leg and the left fingertips up and over the head. Find a nice release here. And then go ahead and take the hands to frame the right foot. Heel toe that right foot towards the center of the mat. Spin the left heel down so it's mat and come up into your warrior 2. And again, in your warrior 2 here, find your core, pay attention to it more than you normally would. Focus on the belly button pulling in and up. Focus on that ujjayi breath, in through the nose, out through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth if you need to release some heat. And then when you're ready, flip the front palm, reverse your warrior. Just to transition here, find that nice side body stretch. And then take your right arm to the right thigh, left fingertips up and over the head. Beautiful. Now from here, our tendency in this side angle pose is to really dump into the arm, into the shoulder. But this is our power core class, so we are going to use our core here. So really get light in that right forearm. Focus on pulling the belly button in, even feel the obliques fire up here. Feel them open. Try and take the heat out of the legs by firming up through that core. And you might become so firm in the core in the center of the body that you can just lift that right forearm off of the thigh and stay here. Feel the core shake. Maybe you take that right hand out in front of you like you're holding a big beach ball. Open up, find your core for 3, for 2. On 1, reverse it, this time with straight legs. Release. Find that side body stretch. Beautiful. And then take the arms to a T and we'll prepare for our triangle pose, Trikonasana. Reach the right fingertips forward, forward, forward. And when you can't anymore, take the right fingertips down towards the ground and the left fingertips up to the sky. And again, we'll find that same variation using our core to hold us up. Left hand up and over the head. Right hand comes out in front as well. You're holding that big beach ball. You're using your right oblique. It's on fire. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2. On 1, come back to your warrior 2. Just take an inhale and an exhale. And then cartwheel the hands and step back to your high plank. And from your high plank, we'll just hold here. Let's tap out the knees, one knee to the ground, then the other for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. Release some heat from the body. We'll do that all on the other side. Take an inhale, lift the left leg up to the sky. And on your exhale, step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Find your little twist here, reaching the left fingertips up and just rocking back and forth, lubricating that hip joint. Starting to open. You know what's coming on this side, so that's always good. You know where it ends, you know where it begins. And then let's find our core here. So really pull in the belly button and then come on to the right fingertips. Find that height. And then from here, see if you can hover those left fingertips. Really pull the core in. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, bring it up. And take it back, reverse. Beautiful. And then from here, go ahead and cartwheel those hands to frame the left foot. Bring that left foot in towards the center of the mat. And then take that right foot parallel to the back edge of the mat. And we'll come up into our warrior two. Find your core here. This isn't usually a pose where we focus on the core, but see how the core, the heat and the fire in the core, can distract you from what you're feeling in the shoulders, in the legs, in the inner thighs. Our core is our balance, our stabilizer. When you're ready, flip the front palm, reverse your warrior. Just a transition here, and then take that left forearm to the left thigh, right fingertips up and over the head. So same thing here. Tendency is to dump. We're going to keep it nice and firm, lifting that left oblique even further away from the left thigh than we normally would. Pull the belly button in and up. Find your core. Find your liftedness. I don't know if that's a word. It should be. And then when you're ready, see if you can hover that left forearm off of the left thigh. Maybe this side's a little bit easier for you. I feel like I definitely have a stronger side when it comes to my obliques. And then see if you can take that left arm up right below the right, like you're holding a big beach ball. You got this. Feel the fire for 3, for 2, on 1, reverse the warrior once more, this time with a straight front leg. Find that nice side body stretch in the left side. And then bring your arms to a T, set up for Trikonasana. Left fingertips reach forward, forward, forward. And then the left hand comes down, the right arm comes up. So again, we're gonna find our core in our triangle pose. Same thing as our side angle. I find this variation a little bit harder. Right arm comes up and over the head. Lift yourself slightly. Bring the left arm underneath the right. Holding here. 5, 4, 3, 2. On 1, find your warrior 2. And then go ahead and cartwheel the hands and step back to your high plank. And from your high plank, we'll just hold here this time for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, drop the knees, find a child's pose. Come back to your breath. Find length in the side body. Just take 2 more breaths here. And whenever you're ready, slowly start to make your way onto your seat. And from our seat here, we're going to find a reverse tabletop position. Instead of bringing the hands right underneath the shoulders, I want you to bring them a little bit wider than you normally would. Press the feet into the ground, hips width distance apart, and then go ahead and lift the hips up to the sky. Find that reverse tabletop. Take the head back. Find that release in the core. And then as we come down, we're gonna bring our hips through our arms and lift the right leg. And then lower it and lift the left leg. And then lower it and find your tabletop. We'll do that 2 more times. Reverse tabletop position, release the core. And then come down, seat comes through the arms, let it hover. Lift the left first this time. Lower it, lift the right, lower it, and bring it up, reverse tabletop. Beautiful, 1 more time. Seat through the hands, lift the right, lift the left, and then find your tabletop position. And slowly lower everything down. Come on to your back. Find your breath. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let the knees splay out wide. Don't get too comfy. You knew I was going to say that. We are not done with our core. I promised that this class wouldn't be focused on crunches, but we're going to do just a couple. So take the hands behind the back. We'll find crunches with these Supta Baddha Konasana or butterfly legs. Lift the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. And then lower, that's 1. Lift, that's 2. Lower. Keep going for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Counting backwards, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now hold this time. We'll sit up. Feel that fire in the core. Pull the belly button in. We're here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. And from here, you can just settle into your Shavasana, your final quick moment of rest. You can stay in Supta Baddha Konasana. Maybe you take the legs out long. Maybe you find that same position where we started class with the feet out wide and the knees knocking in towards each other. I always love a low back release after a lot of core work, so this is where I'll be for the next minute. And I will let you know when it's time to come back to our surroundings. Come back to your breath, finding long, slow inhales and even longer, slower exhales. Maybe you find some movement in the body. Maybe you take a full body stretch, lengthening through the torso, feeling all that work that we did in the center of the body, that fire we created. If you're in my position here, you might just want to take the knees closer together and just come directly into that fetal position. And then wherever you are, we'll slowly transition onto our seats. Find a nice comfortable seat to finish class. And take the thumbs to the third eye center. Keeping the thumbs and the pinkies touching, peel the 3 middle fingers away from each other, creating an opening to let the light in. And remembering that there is always light to be let in, even if it's the fire that we've just created in our core. See what I did there? That was kind of sick. Thank you all for practicing with me. Namaste. Thank you so much. Namaste. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment below, share with your friends, and follow me on Instagram at Calm with Carlyn for daily yoga and meditation. And I will see you next time.